Ganun ila.
Hello there, everybody. Live on the Yankee Baseball Network, WPIX Sports presents the 1991 New York Yankees.
Live from Yankee Stadium, and welcome to 45th Annual Yankee Old Timers Day. One of the very special days of the year, everybody, is Old Timers Day at any stadium, but especially at Yankee Stadium. Hello, I'm Tom Seaver, along with Bobby Mercer and Phil Rizzuto. The reason they're not here, they are on the field and in uniform for this very, very special day at the stadium, the start of a 2-hour ceremony, which will conclude in a 2-inning, I believe, a 2-inning ball game, if we can get them to play a couple of innings, on a day that we will celebrate Don Larson's 35th anniversary of his perfect game in the '56 World Series, the 30th anniversary of the 1961 Yankees, one of the great teams of all time, and of course the main celebration of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak in 1941. There have been pictures and handshakes, a couple of tears, and the individuals on the field that will range from Stan Bonson to Clete Boyer and Whitey Ford, and wind up with the likes of a Mickey Mantle, Phil Rizzuto, and a Joe DiMaggio. And a very, very special day for everybody. And all you got to do is look at Alvaro Espinosa's face, and you can tell he's walking around and looking at a piece of Yankee history. That's one of the things these young Yankees on the ball club today are able to do, is to get a sense of the history of the New York Yankees with its deep and rich tradition, and the individuals in uniform today, and they come in all shapes and sizes and ages, and we are looking forward to a very, very exciting and a warm, memorable day. There you see Reggie Jackson, of course, the familiar number 44. So celebration of the 45th Annual Yankee Old Timers Day about to start in a few minutes, and we'll be right back after these messages.
When you play the game, you're looking good. That's the Bud Light way, yes, understood.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it. You know you got it right. Everything else, just keep your Bud Light shining. You got the shine on. Everything else.
The name is NSX. It's been called the best car of its type ever made. A Learjet for the ground. The crowning achievement of the engineers of Acura. You may never own a car like this, but you may own this. The Acura Integra. The Acura engineers' most brilliant thinking applied to a car within reach of nearly everyone. The Acura Integra. See your tri-state Acura dealers. We deliver satisfaction.
Hey, like old times, huh, little brother?
Yep.
You in your old room in the morning with that yellow box?
You remember, huh?
Yeah. They tell me something, big city lawyer. Since when did you start eating Cheerios again?
Just look what's in there.
Whole grain oats with all the oat brand.
That's what's got you making all those high-powered deals, huh?
Better believe it.
My baby brother.
Whole grain oats. Grow up to Cheerios.
Clothes from French Toast can make any kid look good. As for grown-ups, they're on their own.
There's a brand new dollar out there worth $1 million. Here's a hint. It starts with the letter F and the number 8. Buy Sunday's Daily News and get the whole serial number and win $1 million.
Today's Old Timer Day is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that distinctively clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. You see the expanse of Yankee Stadium and expected close to a sellout today. A beautiful day for baseball, and what a shot by John Moore. The old facade that used to be up above the right field stands and now part of the center field adornment, something when they renovated Yankee Stadium they did not get rid of, and rightfully so, saved that piece of heritage, and so significant a part of Yankee Stadium, and brings back so many memories of the old Yankee Stadium, along with the players that played here. Remember the mammoth shot that Mickey Mantle hit off of Bill Fisher that almost went out of the ballpark and hit that facade way up above those right field stands. And the ceremony's just about to begin here at the stadium, the 45th annual Old Timers Day. Let's go down in the field to Frank Messer.
Everywhere. Welcome to the New York Yankees 45th annual Old Timers Day. Saluting the 50th anniversary of Joe DiMaggio's prestigious 56-game hitting streak. One of baseball's most unassailable records. This is also the anniversary year of several other notable Yankee records. This should be quite an occasion, so let's get started, and you will note a few variations in our usual style today. So sit tight, and let's welcome back a lot of Yankee greats and relive some memorable feats. Our first Yankee guest did not remain a Yankee too long, but he came up through the farm system and burst on the New York scene in 1966 by belting several king-sized home runs. He was lost in the expansion draft and moved on to Seattle. He has since operated baseball camps and would still like to get back into baseball, perhaps with the Florida Marlins. Let's say hello to Steve Whitaker. Just as Steve now lives in Florida, here's another fellow who became a Floridian after 16 years in the major leagues. In 1968, he won Rookie of the Year honors with a record of 17 wins and 12 losses. After 3 Yankee years, he was traded to the White Sox, where he won 21 ball games in one season. He is now in business for himself in Florida, but we'll remember him as one of 3 Yankee pitchers who won Rookie of the Year honors. Let's greet Stan Bodson. Our next guest is a native New Jerseyan and still resides there. He spent 5 years with the Yankees, but when his name is mentioned, everyone thinks of the 7th game of the thrilling 1956 World Series. An 18-game winner during the season, he was handed his first series starting assignment in the payoff game, and boy, did he ever come through. All he did was blank the Dodgers on 3 hits to give the Yankees the World Championship. A big hello to our Jersey neighbor, Johnny Cooks. Our next guest got a tough break during his career, but perhaps it was also a good break. At any rate, he was the most able reserve infielder and was known as Super Sub until that day when he practiced playing his harmonica on the Yankee team bus. After that, he was known as the Harmonica Rascal. Here he is, Phil Linz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's one of those Yankees who missed the pennant years, but was always a solid, dependable performer. The only second baseman ever to lead the league in assists for 6 straight years. And a fellow whose first home run was a grand slam. In fact, I think his second home run was also a grand slam. He made a habit of breaking up no-hitters in the 9th inning as well. It's always a pleasure to welcome back Horace Clarke. You know, it's sort of funny how things happen. The Yankees faced this next fellow one night in Kansas City, and the next day they begged Casey Stengel to make a deal for him. He did become a Yankee, and also became one of baseball's top closing pitchers with a blazing fastball, 100 miles an hour or more. and those thick eyeglasses. You remember those pitches that went over the screen when he warmed up. A pleasure to say hello once more to Ryan Duran. A moment ago, I mentioned a super sub. Well, when we speak of super subs, here's another fellow who rates in that category. After coming from Kansas City in a 1959 trade, he played a big hand in 5 championships, playing second, third, the outfield, and pinch hitting. He did a job and was sensational in the final game of the 1961 World Series. Once again, let's welcome Hector Lopez. You know, we talk about characters in the game of baseball. Well, here's a guy who can easily qualify as a character. He always pitched fast, explaining he worked fast because he wanted to get the game over to see who won. He became a 20-game winner in 1970, and after being relieved, went into the clubhouse where I found him under manager Ralph Houck's desk until the final out was recorded. He got his 20th win, and now let's greet Fritz Peterson. Our next guest created a couple of big memories for Yankee fans and will long be remembered for them. In the 6th game of the 1977 World Series, he was the winning pitcher in the game that gave the Yankees their first world title in a long spell. He also won 14 games in that championship year of 1977, and he did have another win in the World Series. The following year, he became a free agent, signed with the Boston Red Sox, and then became famous once again with a pitch to Bucky Dent. Let's welcome Mike Torres. Coming to New York in a monster 1974 trade with Cleveland, our next guest proved to be an excellent acquisition. He was equally adept at starting or relieving and was the winning pitcher in the first game played in refurbished Yankee Stadium. He appeared in 3 World Series and is now doing an excellent job as a scout for the Yankees. A big hello to the man known as Mr. Dirt. Here is Dick Tedrow. You know, folks, only 3 Yankees have ever hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Our next guest is one of the trio. He spent parts of 3 seasons as a Yankee and was part of the 1977-78 championship team. A fun-loving fellow with a permanent smile, now a big rancher down in Texas, and a would-be future broadcaster. Welcome, Cliff Johnson. An All-American quarterback at Ole Miss, our next guest was signed as an infielder, but was asked to convert to catching. He gave the effort 110%, became a fine receiver with the Yankees for a decade. He missed his only chance to play in the World Series in the final game of 1964 when he broke a finger. Now an assistant athletic director at Ole Miss, here's the always popular Jay Gibbs. One of baseball's nicest guys and a standout first baseman to boot. Actually, he was annually a Golden Glove class player. He spent 3 years plus with the New York Yankees. He was on the 1978 World Champions and had a fine 15-year career in the major leagues. It's always a pleasure to welcome back to Yankee Stadium, Jim Spencer. And now another gentleman who always turned in a fine job, despite dividing his season between shortstop and left field in 1962. He won Rookie of the Year honors that year. In the World Series, he made a standout catch in left field. A switch hitter, he hit home runs from both sides of the plate in 3 different ball games. One of 4 Yankees to accomplish that feat. Always a local favorite, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Tresh. Years ago, when Casey Stengel tried to make our next guest part of the platoon system, the player told the old professor, listen, I'm a third baseman. And he was a good one. He played on 4 Yankee championship teams in an 11-year career, 8+ as a Yankee. Now a successful businessman in California, let's greet an old friend, Andy Carey. And now from California to New Jersey, a fellow who could patrol center field with the best of them. But oddly enough, didn't do it here, since the Yanks were then playing in Shea Stadium when he was a Yankee. His biggest year was 1975. He was going great the following year until he suffered a knee injury that not only shortened his season, but also his career. Now he's back in pinstripes as a minor league instructor. Let's welcome Elliot Maddox. When the Yankees were building a pitching staff in the mid-70s, they were fortunate to reach out and obtain our next guest in a trade. He was 55-30 in the 3-in-a-row 70s championship years and the first native of Puerto Rico to be a 20-game winner. Always a willing worker and a tough competitor, it's always nice to have him back. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Figueroa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a brief break from our introductions, I'd like to remind you that
we're going to take a brief pause here at Old Timers Day, but we will be back right after these messages.
And almost unreachable feat in baseball.
Long Island summers are much more comfortable these days, thanks to modern appliances like the air conditioner, the automatic ice maker, and other conveniences like the pool pump. But these appliances use a lot of electricity. In fact, Long Island households use about 40% more than the statewide average. The typical cost, about $3 a day, 12 cents an hour. To learn about ways to lower your electric bill, call Lilco for their free booklet.
4-door Chevy Blazer.
Hi there.
Only $299 a month, no money down. How?
A 48-month GMAC Smart Lease.
Stripped, no doubt.
Stripped? Why, this Blazer has more stuff than a circus trunk. More features than a
4.3-liter V6
store.
engine, 4-wheel drive with anti-lock brakes, automatic transmission, air conditioning, all for $299 a month?
And no money down. More gadgets than a pat.
Your local Chevrolet Geo dealer. The more you look, the better we look.
A baseball contract. No money down, just $299.
This is a test.
Rental cars previously run on different gasolines are put on the road.
A clue.
But this time, they use America's best-selling premium gasoline with a new additive formula.
Another clue.
3,000 test miles later, valves in 4 out of every 5 cars are cleaner.
The big question.
Which gasoline made them cleaner?
Time's up.
If you said Shell, you passed the test. Now, put it to the test in your car.
This Friday and Saturday only at Nobody Beats the Whiz, a 2-day marathon savings sale. Every item in every Nobody Beats the Whiz store is on sale. Everything, every TV, VCR and camcorder, every audio component, cellular phone and air conditioner, every brand, every model, everything. It's for 2 days only. This Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. A 2-day marathon savings sale. Nobody beats the Whiz.
Back at the stadium, we are in the midst of the 45th Old Timers Day here at the stadium. There's Bobby Mercer on the left, who is microphoned, and Tommy Heinrich talking about some memories of New York Yankee baseball. And in case you just joined us, this is the first time that WPIX has carried Old Timers Game in 8 years, and a very special day for us. And we'll go back down on the field to the man conducting the ceremonies right behind home plate, Frank Messer.
An honor for the New York Yankees and Yankee fans everywhere to have with us at Yankee Stadium this afternoon Mrs. Roger Maris and her family. Please, ladies and gentlemen. Pat, welcome to Yankee Stadium. It's always a distinct pleasure to have as many of the Yankee wives as we can. Now, please, a big hello to Mrs. Arlene Howard. Arlene. And another honored guest of the New York Yankees on this prestigious day, Mrs. Billy Martin, Jill. And now, from the New York Yankees dugout, a special guest, a former teammate of Joe DiMaggio's, and now the president of the American League, Dr. Bobby Brown. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our custom to pause in our introductions to remember baseball friends who have passed away since our last Old Timers Day. From the Yankee family, we lost Cedric Tallis, Nick Etten, Wally Moses, Paul Otis, who was the oldest living ex-Yankee, Dale Long, Marv Brewer, Jim Harden, Frank Leach, Roy Cullenbine, Earl Torgerson, Mickey Woodick, and Marshall Bridges. From baseball, former Commissioner Happy Chandler, umpire Frank Umad, John Mullins, John Fetzer, Hoot Evers, Luke Appling, Bob Garbark, Archie Campbell, Cool Papa Bell, Randy Rivera, Frank Justine, Bucky Walters, John Moore, Pete Runnels, Alan Wiggins, former baseball writer Ken Smith, also Red Barrett, Joe Bowman, Bob Brown, Larry Cox, Doc Kramer, Frank Dascoli, Larry Jackson, Cookie Lavagetto, Nelson Potter, Fay Thomas, and Johnny Wirtz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, always a popular player with Yankee fans, this gentleman was part of the Yankees' wall-to-wall infield while they were winning 5 straight pennants in the early 60s. He ranged far and wide at third base, and in the World Series against the Reds in '61, he played a vital role. He is still a Yankee as third base coach at Columbus, always welcome at Yankee Stadium. Here he is, Clete Boyer. And while we're speaking of the famed 60s infield, here's another part of it. Steady as a rock, day in, day out, and always a clutch performer. He reached the heights in series competition. He holds 3 series records, including most RBI in a 7-game series with 12. He had only 1 homer in 36 games, but it was a grand slam. A career 266 hitter. He hit 305 in the series. How about a big hand for Bobby Richardson? Now, when this fellow came to bat, there was always a lot of action in the stands. He was a dangerous right-handed hitter. He spent 9 productive years in New York and was on 4 championship teams. In 1961, he hit the homer that broke the old team record and is always given a big welcome by the fans. Moose Skowron. Okay, it's the bottom of the 9th of the 5th and final playoff game with Kansas City, and it's all tied up. The Yankees are battling to end a 12-year championship drought, and then it happened. A-B, see you later. The Yankees win the pennant and started a 3-year success story. And here's the man who swung the bat and won the flag, Chris Chambliss. Our next guest had 2 tours of duty with the Yankees as a player. And then he pops in and out of the picture in a variety of roles, but he always does a good job. He's 12th on the Yanks all-time home run list, 18th in RBI, which indicates he was at his best with men in scoring position. And now he's a part of the Yankees broadcasting team and still scoring big with the fans. Welcome, Bobby Mercer. Another fellow who came to the Yankees and hung around for a long, long time in a wide variety of roles. Each spring, he went to spring training as a backup infielder, but each season wound up as a regular, pulling his famed hidden ball trick. After his playing career ended, he stayed in baseball and served as a scout, a coach, a manager, and right now is in his 2nd stint as general manager and still doing his same usual classy job. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Stick, Gene Michael. He was always a very elusive fellow on the bases and still is. But we were able to track him down and get him back to New York. He came to the Yankees in 1976 and became the catalyst of 3 straight pennant winners. He was known as Mick the Quick, Mickey Rivers. They said he had a face like a clenched fist, but under his tough exterior, he was a great guy. Always a battler and an all-out performer. He holds the record for hitting in consecutive World Series games at 17 and was one of those who played in the 5 straight World Championship seasons. He gave the Yankee fans many a thrill. It's a real pleasure to welcome him home. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank Bauer. And I don't think it would be appropriate to have Hank here without one of his teammates on those string of 5 championships. And like Bauer, a real battler. The pair were both angry because they were platoon, but later admitted Casey Stengel was right. This fellow is now a real estate tycoon, having turned part of his Ohio farm into a development where the main street is known as Woodling Way. Here is Gene Woodling. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a momentary break in the introductions as we again direct your attention to the Diamond Vision screen. This year is also an anniversary of one of the greatest feats ever performed in a baseball game. A perfect game in a World Series as pitched by Don Larson. Let's watch the video.
A capacity crowd came to Yankee Stadium on October 8, 1956, when skipper Casey Stengel called on 11-game winner Don Larson to face the Brooklyn Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series.
That day, Larson, that's the best game he ever pitched. He had control. Every pitch I called for, he got it over.
I think I was the only guy that took the count 3-2 on him. If I'm not mistaken, I may have struck out, to tell you the truth. But Don had good control that day, and they made some good plays. You have to have a little luck to pitch a perfect game.
The hardest hit ball, I thought, was Jackie Robinson leading off the second inning. He lined the ball to Andy Carey playing third, and he knocked it down. It rode to McDougal, and Gill threw him out at first base. You know, boom, boom.
Well, there was about 2 or 3 plays made in that game. McDougal made a good play, and Andy Carey made a good play. That was probably one of the best catches I ever made. It was Gil Hodges hit the ball, I remember. He must have hit it 440 feet. It was one of those out, didn't quite get to the warning track in left center, but it was right at the warning track. Probably the best catch I'd ever made in my life.
I knew it was a no-hitter. Probably the pressure got to me, started getting to me probably after the 7th inning. I punched Mickey a little bit. I tapped him. I said, look at the scoreboard, Mick. I said, wouldn't it be something 2 mornings ago? I was shaking a little bit.
Larson was just 1 out away from perfection when pinch hitter Dale Mitchell batted for Brooklyn.
I call all fastballs on Dale Mitchell because I knew, Dale was kind of a slapper. He liked to hit the ball all over. And I break the ball. I didn't want to give him anything soft to hit.
Mitchell waiting, stands deep, feet close together. Larson is ready, gets the sign. 2 strikes, ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. A no-hitter, a perfect game for Don Larson.
You never saw a happier guy. You saw how he jumped on Don Larson. He carried me off like I was a little baby.
I probably haven't woke up yet. Maybe I never want to.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It was on October 8th, 1956, when the imperfect man was perfect and wrote his name in baseball's annals forever. This is the 35th anniversary of that once-in-a-lifetime feat of a perfect game in the World Series. And it's a great pleasure to welcome back the man who did it, Mr. Don Larson. You know, folks, I can remember it. I'm sure many of you can, too. Things got a little rough back in 1978 after losing the first 2 World Series games to the Dodgers. However, in the 3rd game, our next guest stretched out his hand and stopped everything the Dodgers hit any place close to him. He put on a defensive show that still lives in the minds of all who saw it. A Yankee standout for 11 years. He is 6th on the all-time Yankee home run list, 9th in RBI, and now he is back in pinstripes as the Yankee first base coach. A big hand for Greg Nettles. It's sort of difficult to characterize our next guest, except to say he was never dull. He had it all: power, speed, arm, played first base like he owned it. He was popular, he was different, he was unpredictable. Still a member of the Yankee family, the man who introduced the hair blower to Major League Baseball, Joe Pepitone. Our next guest spent only 5 years in a Yankee uniform, but no one will ever say they were dull years. He enjoyed a 21-year career in the major leagues and is sixth all-time with 563 home runs, a .357 World Series batting average. He hit the heights in 1977 when he belted 3 home runs in a single game to tie Babe Ruth's record. Always entertaining. And back for his first old-timers game, here is Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. And speaking of class, here's another fellow who should one day join the other Yankees in the Hall of Fame. He holds the Yankee record for strikeouts in a game and a season. He also holds the mark for most shutouts in a season and is second only to Whitey Ford for his career. He is third on the all-time Yankee list in victories, and in 1978 won the Cy Young Award with a 25-3 record and a 1.74 ERA. Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry. A star in many categories, our next guest dominates the World Series pitching records. He was in the most series, pitched the most games started, most victories, most innings, and the most consecutive scoreless innings. For the Yankees, he led in innings pitched, strikeouts, shutouts, third in percentage, fifth in ERA. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in a landslide. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only chairman of the board, Whitey Ford. He was one of a kind, this guy from Oklahoma, and some of his feat still stand out vividly. The tape measure home runs, his resistance to pain, his speed, his all-around skills. It would take too long to enumerate the deeds of this Yankee Hall of Famer. Let's just say, welcome to the Commerce Comet, Mickey Mantle. Ladies and gentlemen, for a moment, we break with the norm for a special vignette. We were fortunate in being able to invite 5 of Joe DiMaggio's 1941 teammates. This quintet was on hand for the alpha and omega of one of baseball's greatest feats. It is a great pleasure to have them here for a reunion with the Yankee Clipper. The first of this group had only 1 year as a Yankee because he went into service immediately thereafter. In 1941, the Yankees set a record by hitting 1 or more homers in 25 consecutive games. This fellow, who was the first baseman, hit the home run that started the streak. Please welcome Johnny Sturm. Our next guest was one of the happy pitchers during the streak. He didn't have to face Joe D. That's why he was so happy. His big moment came in the World Series that year when he won a key game. He counts watching the streak unfold as one of his memorable baseball feats. Let's meet and greet Marius Rousseau. In the season to remember, Joe had a couple of good buddies, the late Lefty Gomez and our next guest. He has long been noted as the first player to appear for spring training wearing a beard. And no, he was not a Yankee then. He had an 11-year career in the major leagues, but watching Joe compile his record remains his fondest memory today. A big welcome back to New York for Frenchie Bordagrave. Welcome, Frenchie. And now, if anyone can tell stories of that 1941 season, we're sure our next guest would be one of the very best. He loves to tell stories of the old days, of which he was so much a part. They called him Old Reliable, and it was a most apt appellation, for when the going got tough, he would always come through. Gee, he even turned a game-ending strikeout into a winning rally against the Dodgers. A big welcome to Tommy Hendrick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll just think, I'm sure you can imagine what our next guest said each time the hitting streak was extended into the higher numbers. He was a rookie that year, but stepped into a spot where he could watch history unfold. Strangely enough, except for the service years, he has never been away from watching Yankee history being made, some of which he's helped. Still a big part of the Yank. Holy cow! Is Phil Rizzuto. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come down to one of the great highlights in the history of Major League Baseball. Again, I would like to ask you to direct your attention to the Diamond Vision screen for a video that needs no explanation. Your attention, please.
That's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far.
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. never before has someone been more
unforgettable in every way,
and forevermore. That's how you'll stay.
That's how you'll stay.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable
Thinks that I am unforgettable too.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. You've been following Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak in your local papers, as I have. And I'm sure that as I was, you've been thrilled by it again. And now it's a great pleasure to have you meet a Yankee legend and baseball's greatest living player, the Yankee Clipper, Mr. Joe DiMaggio. Is well deserved, and in just a moment Joe will have some words for you. But first, we'd like to direct your attention out toward right field as the New York Yankees, Joe DiMaggio, the New York Yankees want to be sure that you remember this memorable day and drive many safe and happy miles in your new Mercedes-Benz, which is being driven in from right field.
Got a good line for it.
A class automobile for a class gentleman. the Yankees gift to Joe DiMaggio. And driving the car in, and now slowly stepping out, if I may, I'd like to call Mr. Sal Pepe Jr. over, with the Yankees giving Joe DiMaggio the Mercedes-Benz. Sal Pepe Jr. also has a gift.
Joe, let me say that it's an honor and a privilege to be able to supply the New York Yankees with this beautiful automobile that you're receiving today. And we've included as a little gift from us, a mobile telephone, a car cover, a CD player, which I know you'll enjoy, and of course, the Yankee pinstripes on the side of the car, because it just wouldn't be Joe DiMaggio without them. Congratulations, the greatest player that the Yankees have ever known.
Thank you, Sal. Joe, with this beautiful gift from the New York Yankees, if you need some company in driving back down to South Florida, I'm available, neighbor. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe DiMaggio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. That is a beautiful car. There's no question about that. I just hope that they don't recall it. I'd hate to see this down the bullpen bringing in the relief pitchers. You know, ladies and gentlemen, an occasion such as this is not only a great honor or a great opportunity, an opportunity to speak to the present players and some of the old 41 Yankees. It's always so nice to see you. I think there might be two of you left that are missing. The first I want to recall is Marius Russo. He pitched a ball game against the Dodgers and won 2-1, beating Fitzsimmons, and he pitched all 9 innings of that game. I only emphasize that he pitched 9 innings because today they consider this a great feat. An old reliable Tommy Henrik. When he wasn't winning games with a base hit in the 9th inning, he kept the game alive. Base on balls, base hits in the late innings of the game. As a matter of fact, he was so reliable that he even came to my rescue one day in Washington, D.C. We played a doubleheader there, and at the second game, my bat was stolen. And we looked frantically for it, Tommy and I, but it was not to be around. And he said, "Joe, why don't you use my bat?" And I said, "Yes, I will, Tom." Well, I did, and I got the base hit. And you know, it was an important base hit because that was the 42nd game, and that tied George Sisler's record. But you know, my bat surfaced the following day, and I felt very comfortable about that. But what people don't know is the fact that that bat was my own model, and I used to give one to Tommy every so often because he liked to use it in batting practice and sometimes in a ball game. And was I happy he used it this particular day. Thanks, Tom. And you know, yet I got another offer. As a matter of fact, it was an offer I could refuse, because it was Phil Rizzuto. He said, "Joe, you can use my bat." I think you beat me to the laugh. because when I felt just the weight was a little more than a toothpick, I said, no thanks, Bill. But I want to tell you something. Nobody had a better view than I in center field watching him play shortstop. He made all the different plays. All the plays, as a matter of fact. He was a great pivot man. He went after pop flies in the short outfield, of which anybody can catch. But he made some sensational catches in the late time of the inning where it meant something. And he's always there in the cutoff. When balls got up in the outfield between the outfielders, outfielder picked it up and just threw right towards shortstop. And it always would get there on a bounce, but Phil would be there to make the play. And Phil, I just want you to know that you're my Hall of Famer. And I mean that. You know that. And ladies and gentlemen, before I forget, we got two other fellas here that were during the 1941 season. One is Frenchy Bordegaray, who spent so much time in the National League for the Dodgers and so forth. And he joined the Yankees. And we're happy to see him, only if he was there to play one game. But he was only there 19 days. Frenchy, take a little wave. Wave to the crowd. There you are. There you go. And the first one to greet me when I did hit my 56 games was from the third base bench at that time, was Johnny Sturrian. As soon as I reached first, he ran out, or was it a home run? He was at home plate to shake my hand. That I remember quite well. Thank you, John. And with the teams that I played with, starting in 1936, and many more down the line that followed, and some of the other players that I did not play with, we won many pennants and championships, which made the fans react with beautiful pride. Let's hope that the New York Yankee feeling will come back real soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, and God bless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to bring out a gentleman, a longtime favorite at Yankee Stadium, number 1.5. Here is Bob Merrill.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this can only happen in the greatest country in the world, America, where we honor and the great ball players, and of course the greatest of all, Joe DiMaggio. America. Join me in singing America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned sea to shining sea. Now join me. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take just a second to introduce to you the gentleman who is so instrumental in putting it all together, the president of the New York Yankee Alumni Association, Mr. Jim Ogle. Over by the dugout, Jim Ogle. And now, it's getting to be baseball time here at Yankee Stadium. And ladies and gentlemen, you cannot have baseball time at Yankee Stadium without the one and only ever voice of the New York Yankees, Mr. Mel Allen.
Thank you very much, Frank. Hello there, everybody. I'm sure you got just as much of a thrill out of seeing the Yankee stars of the past spearheaded by the climax appearance of the Yankee Clipper. Now, how thrilled I was in just about my second year as principal announcer to have gone through that 1941 season with Joe. We're going to start the Old Timers game in just a moment. But in all the years, we started these days in 1947 when the late Bambino was quite ill. And players that he played against all were here. And then again the following year in June to retire his number, and he passed away in 48. But of all the players, and there have been great ones in other teams, but there has never been a greater total ball player than the Yankee Clipper. I'm so proud to be here. I thank you for coming, and many who no longer are with us who are here. So let's play ball, y'all, as soon as we get set up over here. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks ever so much.
We're about halfway through the ceremonies of this 45th Old Timers Day here at Yankee Stadium. The game coming up next. Some time for some nostalgia and maybe a couple of laughs. We'll be back right after this.
It comes from the pit of the earth.
Somebody in this camp ain't what he appears to be. So how do we know who's human?
It plants a seed of suspicion.
Nobody trusts anybody now. What the hell are you looking at me like that for?
That roots inside your mind.
I'll put this right through your head. He can be one of those things!
And devours you, heart and soul. Kurt Russell, Richard Dysart, The Thing. Today at 5 on Channel 11.
This summer, over 1 million people will stop at Exxon and come up winners. They'll play Win with the Tiger and win instant cash. 4 years of free Phase 4 gasoline and 4 years of free flights on Continental Airlines. Try new Phase 4 gasoline. Play Win with the Tiger, and you can come up a winner, too.
Thing I've ever...
Back at the stadium getting ready for Old Timers Day. And it's amazing some of the people that they call old timers, Bobby. Let me tell you, I don't know where you are. I can't see you, but I can hear your shoulder every time it comes around.
Well, the first row was the most
excruciating thing I think I've had happened in the last 5 or 10 years. I don't know what happened to all that scar tissue I've got in my elbow, but I was playing catch with Reggie, and Cleet was down at the other end, and I said, here, let me throw one. I threw one about 10 feet over Cleet's head, and Reggie just looked at me like, what has happened to you? I mean, I've never seen anything like that before.
How long since you've thrown a baseball?
Well, the last time I threw a baseball was in Milwaukee when I played the Old Timers game out there. But if you will notice, Tom, my arm is a little bit lower than what it used to be.
Yes.
When they talk about getting over the top,
you know,
getting on the top, forget about it.
It looks like you'd be in perfect position to throw a knuckleball.
I look like Dan Quisenberry is what I look like.
I tell you, one of the things that I really missed today, one of the great things about Old Timers Day, Bobby, is watching the Old Timers Day batting practice. And I came up behind you and I said, get in there, I want to see that picture-perfect swing. And you walked into the cage and they took the cage down and took it away.
Well, now, let me tell you something about my hitting right now. It's better for me to talk about it than to really actually perform it, okay?
Is it better than you're throwing?
It's better. It better be.
I don't know if you're going to see this, Bobby. John Moore told me that we're going to show a little bit of Bobby Mercer video. This is when you were an active player.
Well, it's better to look at it than for me to show you right now what it's like.
You just turned on a high fastball, hit it out of the ballpark.
Oh, turn the wrist over.
Turn around. You're on the scoreboard, Bobby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it was a very...
Well, that was real short, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, Bobby Richardson, I can't believe they're not playing me in the infield. They got me playing in the outfield.
How can you not play shortstop?
I don't know what the deal is. Bobby Richardson, come here, Bobby. You know, Tom, Bobby Richardson, they asked him to stay around a whole... Where are we at? Right here. Bobby Richardson stayed around a whole year back in 1966, wasn't it, Bobby? To try to teach me how to play shortstop to make me look good, and it didn't work, did it, Bobby?
Well, I enjoyed playing that last year. We finished in last place, and I really missed you.
You know, Bobby was a real inspiration when I first came up. He was one of the nicest guys that I ever met. I felt he made me feel like one of the players out there. And unfortunately, I'll tell you another thing, that he tried to get me to use, him and Tony Kubek tried to get me to use the old BDX, I think it was. It looked like a flat pancake. They could catch with it. I couldn't catch with it. It didn't work out for me.
You could get it out quick, but you couldn't keep it in there all the time.
Well, I got it out all right, but I threw it about 10 miles over the first baseman's head. What are you doing now, Bobby?
I'm retired. College coaching all these years, retired in December of last year, 10 grandchildren. I'm a lot of... I remember as a 17-year-old when you worked out with us. That was a long time ago.
10 grandchildren.
10 grandchildren.
Well, that must be a big thrill for you and your wife.
I'm an old 55.
Now, how can you retire and get out of baseball? Weren't you back in Sumter coaching or an athletic director down at the college there?
I just felt like I needed to get off the field and get back home.
Tell me something, Old Timers Day, this is many, many Old Timers Day for you. What's the one thing you remember about Yankee Stadium and Bobby Richardson?
Well, not so much about Bobby Richardson, but I remember Mantle hitting 2 home runs when he had been out of the lineup for a while. And then a moment ago in that dugout when Joe DiMaggio walked by me, that was a thrill. That's what I remember. Not anything about Bobby Richardson.
Well, it's always a thrill of being alongside with Bobby Richardson. We're about ready to get this game started. We better go.
Thank you, Mickey. I mean, yeah. Bobby. See you.
Boy, oh boy, it's a long run out here, you know. Where's Mick the quick guy? Come on, quick. Hey, Tommy, can you still hear me?
I can hear you, Bobby. First pitch
Are you wanting me to talk or what? We're waiting for Mickey Rivers. He's supposed to be playing center field.
Why aren't you playing center? And where is the scooter? I want the scooter in uniform.
The scooter is not in uniform. He's hobnobbing with Joe D right now. Come on out here, quick.
We'll give you a look at the starting lineup as they were printed. Now, whether the old-timers will follow this starting lineup, you'll never know. Whitey Ford is going to start it for the Yankee B team. And the Yankee A team will hit. Supposedly leading off Tommy Tresh, Maddox, Chambers, Carey, Lopez, Spencer, Johnson, Michael, Clark, Linz, and Larson. There's Whitey Ford.
Will you play left? I'll play
talking
center.
with the old professor. And you're talking about a crafty left-hander. That's exactly who they had pattern the mold after right there, number 16. I remember watching him as a kid, and I told him that before the game, and he almost took my head off.
Hey, Whit. Whit.
Who would be the last man between Mickey Rivers, number 17?
Now, Mickey Rivers is going into the game chasing you off the field, Bobby?
No, he's supposed to be in center field.
Oh,
but he
there
wasn't
you
out
are.
Here, so Steve Whitaker was here. So we have a little mixed up, but we're ready to go now. Who's this first batter?
I think you're playing a little bit deep.
Tommy, yeah, we got him played perfectly. Yeah, see, Tommy is a switch hitter, and he doesn't bat that well or against left-handed pitching anymore.
He's hitless this year, too, Bobby.
Yeah, real shallow, Mick. Real shallow. Oh, that's pretty good right there. You can't imagine what it looks like out here. It's been so long, you know, with all these people in the stands and everything. Whoops. Whoop, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
This could be trouble.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like that one, huh? How you feel, Eric? Thanks a lot. I appreciate the help. Yeah, I don't look a thing like Mickey Rivers. I don't think. Hey, Mick, you're supposed to be out here. Oh, boy. See, these guys think...
That's a replay, and you can notice the great jump that Mercer got to his left. He almost slipped on the wet turf. That's because of the heavy rain we had last night. Ron Guidry takes over on the mound.
You got to watch this guy. He may be able to drive one pretty deep. But see, when you got a guy like Mickey Rivers out there, you don't have to worry about it because... Mick, you all right? You all right? Next inning, you play out here. Whoops. Yeah, there's a souvenir for somebody. Louisiana Lightning used to have to play these guys when I played center field, Louisiana Lightning pitching. They didn't pull many pitches. You had to play them mostly straight away. Come on, Cleet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Well, Cleet's playing out of position a bit. He's playing shortstop.
Should have been handled by the first baseman, Joe Pepperto. Everybody shifting the blame. Uh-oh. There go the bottle caps in the shoulder.
And here's the guy that really tore up Yankee Stadium in a playoff run. Chris Taylor. Back on. You know, the fans are up there. They really do.
Whoa! Come on, Reggie. Play the carom, big guy. Attaboy. Get him! You got him! See, Chambliss, he is managing in the minor league system right now, so he's been taking batting practice every day. So he's looking pretty good.
And Reggie with a good throw from right field. That's because he throws batting practice to the Oakland A's, where he serves as a coach.
He's now managing the Greenville Braves, the minor organization. By the way, Christian Stevens won the first pass with the greatest best record of any team in baseball.
Come on, Gator, throw it in there. Let him hit it. We can catch it. What's this stuff on the ground out here?
Out of play.
Out of play.
Jackie Robinson was shot off the toe. Van Dieken taking Bergman Booger and threw Jackie out. And that's what
Uh-oh. Dive! Dive! No. Okay.
2 away.
Ah, Hector Lopez, the guy, I tell you what, he hit. Talk about a pinch hitter. Guy that could sit on the bench forever and pinch hit. Uh-oh, he's trying to go the opposite direction.
That shook up the channel 11.
Well, we got a little buzzing in my microphone, Tom. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I can hear you fine, Bobby.
I'm just talking away, and of course we got the microphone behind me. But I tell you what, you talk about somebody that could come up in the 9th inning and get the big base hit for you. Hector Lopez could do that for you.
Got to hit the ball.
It's amazing how those guys can sit on the bench 7 or 8 innings and come up with a big play. Come on, Cleet, you can do it, big guy. Pump it up this time. All right.
We'll take a look at the Cleet Boyer video. They were testing him. This against the Cincinnati Reds. But he played third base. He could play third with the best of them. Boy, he and Nettles, they could pick it at third base. After a half an inning here at the Old Timers game. No score. No, excuse me. The Yankees won and the Yankees nothing. And we'll be right back after this.
That's right. Each efficient fluorescent bulb could save you $60 of electricity. Well, thank you for calling Milco.
Hi, Mom. Dad's parking the car. Don't work yet?
Just about, sweetheart.
What is this energy hotline?
It's an easy way for people to get ideas about lowering their electric bills.
Like how?
Well, with the high price of oil these days, we're helping our customers save energy, which also helps the environment.
You do important work, Mom.
You bet, son.
This Friday and Saturday only at Nobody Beats the Whiz, a 2-day marathon savings sale. Every item in every Nobody Beats the Whiz store is on sale. Everything, every TV, VCR and camcorder, every audio component, cellular phone and air conditioner, every brand, every model, everything. It's for 2 days only. This Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. A 2-day marathon savings sale. Nobody beats the Whiz.
Right again, broadcasting. And they take off, of course, on the first player from Puerto Rico.
Instructions. Now, Mick, when you get on, give me 1 strike so I can pull it through the hole, and then you can take off, okay? Give me the 1 shot, okay? Thank you, guys.
Bobby Mercer, who is wired in more ways than one on the field. There you see the equipment. B team against the Yankee A team. It'll be Rivers, Mercer, and Pepitone. Boy, they're throwing some left-handed hitters atop this lineup, Bobby.
I tell you what, Biggie, you better keep it outside.
This is
Make it be in there now. Come on, Mick. Come on, quick.
This is going to be a thing of beauty watching you hit from up here.
Oh, he went for a high one. You should have let it get down. Just should be down to the strike zone a little bit more. Hi, Cliff. How you doing, big guy? Hey.
No, I'm not going to bother.
Okay. Hey, make sure, you better be careful what you say, okay? Now, make sure the ball's where I need it. You know, I need the ball low and inside, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. I got to look good 1 time in my life. Come on, Figgy, throw one in here. Turn it over. I'll check the speed on him. Not too bad. That's not too bad.
You couldn't offer anything.
Not too, I'm just checking the speed. Just checking the speed. I saw that one all the way. 1-1. I'll work him. Oh, no!
I mean, I'm telling you, Bobby, I thought it was gone when you hit it.
Oh, that hurt. Oh, did that hurt.
I thought that was out of here when you hit it.
You see this thing? I got my anti-jammer. It didn't work.
We better watch what we say around you.
You better watch what you say. You like Stick Michael, don't you? Hey, Peppy. Hey, Stick. You're not moving as well as you used to. You should have had that one. Come on, Flip. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Huh? I'm doing fine. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, Stick doesn't move quite as well as he used to, you know, for some reason or another.
Stick would have had that ball, you know that.
Gotta watch out, he's got the hidden ball trick, see?
He does that. He put it behind his back.
Yeah. You got the hidden player trick here with the Yankees, too, you know?
Oh! second.
Hey! Hey!
That's Baba Ball.
Hey! What's going on with you, Stick? I thought you got the ball in your glove.
I lost my ring.
Reggie Jackson, the hitter, and he has been taking some hitting, as we talked about before. A coach for the Oakland A's. He throws batting practice and takes batting practice as well.
Boy, that hurt.
They should let you all hit the ball.
He was throwing it all right. I just couldn't get around, that's all.
Way to go, Joe. Talking three-point him around in second. Look at going to stop and burn it. And the batter now.
I thought somebody hit the dugout.
He can get around on that soft stuff.
Here's what he fouled at him over here.
Oh, yeah.
Late 70s. Now here's the coach.
You know, that strength that I have when you get jammed, you just kind of still loop it out in there where they can't catch it. Enough to drive the ball.
Try your thumb?
No. All right, guys.
All right, Greg Nettles flies out to center field. Boy, can these Yankees throw some left-handed hitters at you? After an inning here at the Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium. It's the Yankee A team 1. Yankee B team nothing.
This summer, over 1 million people will stop at Exxon and come up winners. They'll play Win with the Tiger and win instant cash. 4 years of free Phase 4 gasoline and 4 years of free flights on Continental Airlines. Try new Phase 4 gasoline. Play Win with the Tiger, and you can come up a winner, too.
Let's go! Down in front, up all the way. You're the greatest, you're a home run, babe. Pour it on, keep the drive alive. Give me a bun and a big high five. Nothing beats our best, Budweiser. Nothing beats a bud. So let's go and cheer with the king of beer.
Ice cold Budweiser.
Nothing beats a bud.
Back at the stadium in the middle of Old Timers Day, and Ron Gidney, the Iron Horse, is still on the mound.
Long ball hitting Jim Spencer.
Hey, I'll take a look at a video of Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning.
If he had Jim Spencer as the Yankee,
The old adage, you didn't have to run up on it.
he thought he'd have won a few more pennants here. Ralph thought that Spencer was, at that time, the best left-hand hitter.
Boy, you didn't have to run up on it at all. He could punch you out with that heater and a little slider down and in, one of the best ever in the business. And some competitor.
Keep it away from him, Gidry. He can't. All he tries to do is pull the ball all the time. Keep it outside. Throw the slider. Easy, man. Uh-oh.
It'll be Jim Spencer, Cliff Johnson, and the stick, Gene Michael.
Oh, that ought to be fun.
So
The
it should
stick,
be
Gene Michael.
it should be a quiet offensive inning, I would think.
That ought to be fun. That's the spot. That's the spot, baby.
Bobby threw him a slider there.
I know it. That's the spot. We won't have any trouble with Spencer if he keeps it there.
I think you're playing him too much to pull, Bobby.
Well, that's where Reggie wanted me to play.
Look where Reggie is.
I know it.
He's over in the concession stand.
Uh-oh, see?
Right at him. Look at this.
Dive, Reggie, dive. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, we know how to play these hitters.
Did he have him played right on the spot? I can't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
And Spencer can't believe it either.
Yeah, we know how to play. Yes, sir. Good.
Let's give him a hand for defense.
All right. What out here?
A little shot of Reggie Jackson.
Ah, Cliff.
World Series, you could forget the game that
That's it right
against the
there.
Dodgers. He had 3 home runs, and
Yeah, we're perfect.
One game when a line drive.
Oh, no, that's all right. Well, we're
And the last one, a mammoth shot off of Charlie Huff.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll get a double play here.
Well, you can tell the ones that are working in the minor leagues.
Oh,
they've been taking some batting practice.
Everybody. Hey, Reggie. Reggie. Come way in here. Come way in here. Easy double play here. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. You got to play shallow on Gene. He's one of those tricky hitters.
Look at Greg Nettles way in at third base, respecting the speed. See him?
You don't expect him to pull the ball, though, see? He usually hits the ball the opposite field, you know, those little dunkers, kind of like the one I hit. Oh, that's it. Pick him off. Atta boy, Joe. Easy double play right here. Easy double play. Oh, no. 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 Longest ball sticks hit in 50 years. I don't believe that. I don't know. It's unusual. I don't know, Mick. It's unusual. Yeah, next thing you know, he'd be flaring one over the first baseman's head.
Frank Gene looks in pretty good shape. Very true. Looking good. We're looking ready to bear down.
Come on, Stick. Hit one out here. Hit one on the ground. Double play. Double play. That's it. Hump up on him just a little bit, Ronnie. Come on, Lightning.
Good. Guidry trying to strike him out in here.
Oh, yeah. That's it. You got him now, baby. Oh, that's it. Right. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
You can't call him out. He's the boss, Bobby.
The Stick. Now, you complain about all your players, you know, taking hacks like that. That's the double play we were looking for. Oh, yeah. One, Bobby. Back to Pepe for two. We called it. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
The Yanks turn a double play, and if Mercer can get to the dugout, we'll have the bottom of the second. We'll see in a minute.
New Carvel strawberries and cream cake. Strawberries. Mmm. The Sinfully chocolate fudge cake. And I was thinking of having a brownie. The butterscotch nut cake. Butterscotch sauce, ice cream, and nuts. The new classic ice cream cakes from Carvel. Pick one up for dessert tonight. Your family will think they've gone to heaven. And now buy 3 Carvel classic cakes anytime this summer and get one free.
I wanted to stop drinking and drugging, but just didn't know how. I'd lost all control. With proper treatment, I was able to receive the help I so desperately needed. My life has changed. I have a desire for living clean and sober today.
I became an addict alcoholic. Till one day I realized no one was going to help me until I helped myself. I entered treatment and found a dignity I never knew was possible. Find yourself. Call now.
1-800-442-7623.
Bottom of the second inning, the old-timers game. Bobby Mercer. Who you got down there, Bobby? Looks like a hard-throwing left-hander to me, huh?
Well, we got Louisiana Lightning Tom, and what about Stick pulling that ball foul on you down? That's the hardest ball Stick's hit in 50 years.
Well, I didn't read the scouting report before, and, you know, most of the time he hits left-handed. I didn't know what kind of power he had right-handed, and I wanted to check it out. I almost made a mistake, but I managed to rebound, and I got him in the end.
What about that Louisiana Lightning sauce that you are now making down in Louisiana? What about that?
Well, it's a good sauce. It's out on the market, and it's, I think they ship more of it out here than we get at home, but I hope the people enjoy it. It's not as hot as Tabasco sauce, and we ship, like I say, all of it up here because we got a lot of friends up here and everybody wants to try it, so I hope everybody else tries it.
What's your greatest memory as a New York Yankee?
Just putting on the uniform.
Very good. Back up to you, Tom.
All right, Bobby.
Dick Tidrow on the mound for the Yanks. And he's facing Bobby Richardson. Is that who was up? Yeah, Bobby Richardson. Now, some of the players have the same numbers, obviously playing in different eras. Tidrow, one hitter, and he comes off.
Yeah, why don't we do it right now?
Hey, you got somebody, Bobby?
Coming up here.
Oh, great. Work. Johnny Cox, the pitcher.
Yeah, please do.
I wonder if the scooter is out in DiMaggio's car playing his CD. What do you think?
Was selected as a rookie when the Yankees had run out of pitchers.
Let's go down. Bobby Mercer has Mickey Mantle.
Well, of course, this is the new fashionable Mickey Mantle here. And what is that you got in your left ear there, Mick?
I like it, Bob.
You really?
I was wearing it for a joke, but I like it.
Well, you look very, very good at that with that new fashionable earring there. Where did you get that at?
I don't know.
You don't.
Come home with it.
Well, you've made many, many Old Timers games, Mickey. You're one of the favorites here. And what's it like coming back to Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium?
It's great. I can't wait till my 50th one. My 50th year, like Joe did. I figure in 8 more years I might get a jet.
What kind of jet would you like?
A Learjet.
A Learjet. Okay, we'll put that in right now. Let's clear this up once and for all. You know, all these years they said, what was it like being compared to Mickey Mantle? I always want to know what was Mickey Mantle, how did he feel like, what did he feel like Bobby Mercer being compared to him? What did you feel like?
I always liked what Whitey said. After we saw you, I was worried at first before I saw you. Because you was coming from Oklahoma, and I figured you'd be a great, big, strong guy, you know. And then we saw you hitting out here one day, and Whitey said, you got nothing to worry about, Slick. He's got warning track power.
Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, so I did have a little bit of warning track power. So what? That's all right. But let me ask you this. So you hit more home runs than I did. So you made more, got more gold gloves in the outfield than I did. But who
didn't get any?
I
only got one.
Oh, yeah, okay, we're tied. But who was the better shortstop when they came up? You know, you came up as shortstop, I came as shortstop, and I said, and I think that I'm right, but I wanted to ask you, because we wanted to clear this up once and for all, I thought I was the much better shortstop than Mickey Mantle.
I'll have to go along with that.
Okay, you heard it
I
right
might have been the worst shortstop that ever came up.
Well, I may have been the second worst shortstop, too. Nick, nice seeing you again, guys.
Thank you, Bobby.
You bet. Back up to you, Tom.
All right, Bobby, thank you. Mike Torres on the mound. Against the Moose, it looks like from here. If it turns in his 14, it's the Moose. And it is. It's funny how you can remember certain Yankees because of the numbers, not just 7 and not just number 5, number 8. Moose Gower, I always remember him, number 14, 16, Whitey Ford. The voices in the background, Mel Allen and Frank Messer. Of course, Mel Allen, the voice of the New York Yankees. The former Yankee, Dave Winfield, sitting and chewing the fat with Jim Spencer. I don't think anybody's going to get to that one. Hit him where they ain't. Oh, Moose, hit him where they ain't scouring. I think Moose, still living in Chicago, one of the nice men in baseball. Doug Rader, manager of the Angels. It'll be the Angels and the Yanks. Scheduled for a 2 o'clock start. Hey, Bobby, are you guys going to play 3 innings or 2 innings?
What are we playing here? 3 innings? We're playing 3 innings, right? This is going to be it? This is it. We don't go away. We'll do. I want to talk to Reggie a second. Right here. Come on, Reg.
1-0. Hope you enjoyed the action, folks.
All right, Bobby, with Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson. I tell you what, the thing that I remember about Reggie Jackson is those 3 home runs in the World Series. I tell you what, it takes something to hit that ball out there. You make a line drive, base hit your first time up. You look like you can still play.
It's just looks, Bobby. I'm like most players nowadays. I look good in the lobby.
Yeah, well, if you're like me, I can only talk about it, right?
Bobby, how about my defense?
Hey, that was pretty good. How did you know how to play Spencer down the line with a left-handed pitcher on the mound?
There and then hitting my glove. That's what happened.
Yeah, well, I bet. Listen, I know you're with the Oakland A's organization right now, and you made a statement, or somebody I heard at some place, that you had some aspiration to maybe managing someday on a big league level.
Bobby, I don't know. You know, I believe that when I've gotten back into baseball this year, it's an experience I wouldn't trade for anything. I've learned so much that the players nowadays are, you know, very different. And being a coach, and talking to them, what to say to them, how to say it, it's different. You know, I admire the managers nowadays, and since I've been in the game as a coach or as an instructor or whatever you want to call it, it is different approaching a player nowadays. And so I really don't know if I'm ready to become a manager of a Major League Ball club, because the players have changed and you just need a certain kind of experience.
I know you played with the great Oakland A's back in the early 70s, but what do the pinstripes really mean to Reggie Jackson?
Very, very special, Bobby. I think you're aware of that. When you put the Yankee pinstripes on, and you're part of it, and you are something that very, very few people have the opportunity to appreciate. You talk about the Boston Celtics, you've been talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but really the franchise that is known all over the world, and the greatest sports franchise in the world, is the Yankees. And so I'm glad to be a part of that tradition of, you know, from Ruth to Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Whitey, Yogi. I'm one of those guys, and so I feel very special about it.
Well, you are a very special person. Next stop for Reggie Jackson's the Hall of Fame. No doubt about it.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks a lot, Reggie.
How about your partner, Tom?
Tom Seaver will be there, too. Get back up to you, Tommy.
Thank you, Bobby. Hello, Reggie.
Gold Glover.
Reggie Jackson and Bobby Mercer. Here as the Old Timers Day, the 45th Old Timers Day, the granddaddy of them all. The Yankees started it on the yearly basis, and this the 45th at the stadium. On a day that we celebrated Don Larson's 35th anniversary of his perfect game, the 30th anniversary of the 61 Yankees, and of course Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak. Old Timers Day at the stadium, and we'll be back right after this.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
Well, you can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. Everything else is up to light. Just keep your Bud Light down. Bud Light. You're pure, you're natural, you're one of a kind. You're my ivory, baby. You're pure, you're soft, you're just the right touch. You're my ivory, baby.
Ivory, it's so mild, more people baby their skin with it than any other soap.
You make me feel so good. You're my ivory, baby.
Baby your skin with Ivory.
Back at the stadium, and the ground crew starting to get ready for the game between the Angels and the Yanks. The Angels winners last night 5-1. Mark Langston won his 14th, but we're going to have baseball here in about 20 minutes. But before we do, a few more old-timers celebrations and interviews. We'll go back down on the field with Bobby Mercer and Chris Chambliss.
All right, Tom. Chris Chambliss, I'll tell you what, everybody recognizes this face, and the home run that he hit in to win the playoff series for the New York Yankees against the Kansas City Royals. But I understand you are now managing in the minor league system right here in baseball.
I manage for the Greenville Braves, which is AA for the Atlanta Braves. That's my first year with them. I managed 2 years with the Detroit Tigers AA club, and so this is my third year managing. I'm enjoying it.
Now, when you retired from baseball, did you go right into minor league baseball as a manager?
As a matter of fact, my first job was with the Yankees in '87. I played a year with the Braves in '86. And I was hired as like a hitting instructor in the minor leagues for the Yankees. And that was my first job. So I did go right into the game.
Got some pretty special people here this Old Timers Day, of course, honoring Joe D. Who's the first guy you saw when you came to the clubhouse today?
First guy I saw was Mickey Rivers. And You know, he's a character, and Mickey was always a good friend, and he's always a lot of fun, kept everybody loose.
Tell me about your son now. You've got a 16-year-old son that's about, what do you say, he's about 6'5"?
No, he's 6'2".
6'2"?
But he's only 16, and so the doctor says he's going to be 6'5", so he's a good athlete, loves the game, playing a little center field right now, so we're looking forward to seeing him playing a little ball. I don't know if he'll play pro, but he's having fun right now.
What college is he going to go to?
I don't know yet. He's still got 2 years of high school, so he hasn't really decided on that
We'll
yet.
Keep an eye on him at the University of Oklahoma.
How about that?
Just relive that home run that you hit during that special time. Can you tell us about it? What was the pitch and what was this? When you walked to the plate, what were you thinking of?
Well, it was a special moment because, I don't know if you remember, but they threw a lot of paper and stuff on the field right before that at-bat. So I had a long wait before the pitch was thrown. And it was the first pitch I hit. It was a high fastball from Mark Littell, and it was a tie game. As you know, George Brett tied that game. We had a 3-run lead, and he tied it up. So it was really an exciting series, and really my proudest moment.
One of the most memorable moments in Yankee history. Chris Chambliss, thanks a lot for stopping by and talking with us. Good luck to you, though.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for having me.
See you at the Major League level one day, managing one of these ball clubs.
I hope so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back up to you, Tom.
Thank you, Bobby. And sincerely, one of the nice men in the game of baseball, Chris Chambliss. They're starting to get the field ready. Lines going down, and the grounds crew with the rakes busy at work. We'll be right back.
An away team is vanishing one by one.
Whatever happened to the others is happening to me.
Susanna! A deadly virus invades the last survivors.
We've got to get that thing out of her now.
Its next victim, Geordie LaForge.
We may have weeks or very few hours.
Security! We have an intruder coming! Metamorphosis on the next exciting episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Tonight at 7 on Channel 11.
Four-door Chevy Blazer.
Hi there.
Only $299 a month, no money down. How?
A 48-month GMAC Smart Lease.
Stripped, no doubt.
Stripped? Why, this Blazer has more stuff than a circus trunk. More features than a
4.3-liter
video
V6
store.
engine, four-wheel drive with anti-lock brakes, automatic transmission, air conditioning, all for $299 a month?
And no money down. More gadgets than a pat.
Your local Chevrolet Geo dealer. The more you look, the better we look.
A baseball contract. No money down, just $299.
It's only natural that children look to their parents for answers. So to help you explain why some things that may be fine for adults aren't right for children, Anheuser-Busch offers Family Talk, free advice from professionals to use with your kids while they're still learning to be grown up. And their favorite teacher is you. Let's stop underage drinking before it starts.
Meg Moorhead, are you sure you're eating the most nutritious cornflakes?
I'd bet my begonias on it.
Skip Sims, are you sure you're eating the best tasting cornflakes?
I'd bet my business, dude.
You may not know it, but there's a better cornflake from Total. Total cornflakes have 4 times the nutrition of Kellogg's, and they taste better, too. So before you bet on your cornflakes, remember, the best cornflakes are from Total.
Back at the stadium, where we have a very special presentation, the first annual Billy Martin Award, presented by Billy Martin's wife, Jill. And it will go to the Yankee Minor League Player of the Year, who last year was Hensley Mullins. And Billy Martin's wife, Jill, will present the award to Mullins. Mullins, who last year in Columbus hit .285 with 26 home runs and 96 RBIs. And the first award, a very special moment for Jill Martin. A little bit of everything, something old and something new here today. Some of the great Yankees, a great history. Yeah, it goes with the pinstripes, and we'll go back down on the field to Bobby Mercer and Phil Linz.
Great life, isn't it? Well, thank you very much. Alongside me is a super sub back in the 1960s, early 60s, and middle 60s, Phil Linz. But Phil, they don't know you for being a super sub and being able to play all kinds of positions on the infield and playing them well, but they remember you about the harmonica incident with Yogi Berra. Tell us a little bit about that.
When it comes to playing, yes, they remember my music. Well, you know the story. We were on a bus and we had lost 4 straight in '64, and I played the harmonica. Yogi didn't like my music. Well, what turned out, we played pretty good after that, and we won the pennant by 1 game that year.
So it actually turned the ball club around when you weren't playing well. They really just kind of fired everybody up, right?
I think we were playing pretty apathetically, and after that, we had a lot of fun. We started to goof around, and all New York sold out of harmonicas. And before every game, I played my harmonica, and we kept winning.
Don't tell me you endorsed harmonica after that, did you?
Absolutely.
You did?
Honer Harmonica signed me up. In fact, in 1965, on the back of the Yankee yearbook, they had a whole back picture of me with advertising Honer Harmonica, and the top sign said, "Play it again, Phil."
You don't have that harmonica with you, do you?
I promised you the last time.
Next time you'll have it. And can you play a harmonica, though?
Well, I can still play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, well,
and I'm working on National Anthem.
What's the Phil Lenz doing today?
I'm working with Liberty Mutual, Bob, and I'm selling corporate insurance in Westchester County. Anybody in business out there interested in getting a quote?
Absolutely. A good guy to get in touch with, too, here is Phil Lenz. Next time, bring your harmonica. We'd like to hear Mary Little Had a Little Lamb.
Right. I just want to get invited back to another old-timers day.
Oh, you will, big guy. Nice seeing you.
Thanks, Bob.
Back up to you guys. And next time,
all right, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you. Look at Joe Martin. And that's Anthony Mulin's number 31. He's in the lineup as we start getting ready for this afternoon's contest, game number 2 of this 3-game series between the Angels and the Yanks. And we'll be right back.
Born of the finest natural ingredients, then brewed and aged with extra care for that clean, crisp, cold taste. The taste only Budweiser can deliver.
And we'll toast and cheer with the king of beers.
The king of beers.
Nothing beats the Bud.
This is a test.
Rental cars previously run on different gasolines are put on the road.
A clue.
But this time, they use America's best-selling premium gasoline with a new additive formula.
Another clue.
3,000 test miles later, valves in 4 out of every 5 cars are cleaner.
The big question.
Which gasoline made them cleaner?
Time's up.
If you said Shell, you passed the test. Now, put it to the test in your car.
Big news from the Money Store. Home equity loans as low as 8.5%.
Phil Rizzuto here for the Money Store with the great summer special for qualified homeowners. Now get a fixed rate home equity loan as low as 8.5%. That's right, 8.5%. And your low rate is locked in for the life of the loan. Use the money to pay off your bills, make home improvements, buy a new car. It's up to you. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Okay. Here we are back at the stadium. And the ground crew continues to get things ready. Greg Cataray has gone down to the bullpen. And he will begin his warm-up tosses. Scheduled start of this ball game, 2:05. Some of the players out on the field. There's a Yankee legend. Number 23, Don Mattingly. He will go out and start getting his legs ready. Matt Noakes has been out. It's a big thrill for some of the players, too, to watch some of the history unfold in front of their eyes, especially the number of young players this Yankee club has, the young pitchers, Bernie Williams, etc., to see some of the Yankee legends, to see Mantle, to see DiMaggio, to see Whitey Ford, see members of that great 1961 Yankee team, which is actually the second coming of the Bronx Bombers. We talk about the 27 Yankees and the 61 Yankees, and that's exactly what I talk about right there. Scott Bale's out in the monuments in center field, and he's looking at the monument of Miller Huggins. There you can see over his right shoulder, it looks like Babe Ruth. Right behind that pole, that looks like number 3, the Bambino. And I want to tell you, the first trip that I made to Yankee Stadium, and I can't remember the year. It must have been 1967, no, maybe 68 or 69 when they used to have the Mayor Trophy game. And as a member of the New York Mets, I came over to Yankee Stadium for that ball game. The first place that I went, absolutely the first place that I went, notwithstanding the thrill of walking out of the dugout into Yankee Stadium the first time, but the first place that I went, left center field. It was in center field then, and looked at the monuments. And one of those great teams in Yankee tradition, and I think we were in commercial. You at home did not get to see the film clip that they have of the 1961 Yankee teams. Many people regard it as one of the outstanding teams, if not in the top 3 of all-time baseball. So let's take a look at the 1961 New York Yankees.
The Yankees were world champions in '61, thanks largely to a pair of players who displayed unparalleled power, Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. Mantle jumped off to a sizzling start by hammering 7 homers in April. He maintained a torrid pace until sidetracked by injury late in the season. Maris didn't hit his first homer until April 26th, but there was no stopping him after that. And as the summer wore on, it became clear that both players had a shot at breaking Babe Ruth's record. In September, Mantle was hampered by a hip injury, would hit only 2 more homers to finish the year with 54. And so it was left to Roger Maris to face the challenge alone, with the entire nation following his every at-bat.
I don't think there's ever been an athlete who's had as much pressure over the length of time that Roger did and handled it better.
It came down to the final game of the season, October 1st against Boston.
Here comes Roger Maris. Just standing up, waiting to see if Maris is going to hit number 61. Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there.
When he hit the home run to break the record, I remember he came in the dugout and we were all talking, Roger, you know, tip your cap, and we pushed him out. I remember I pushed him out, and then he tipped his cap, and that was something that I will never forget.
Another one of the great moments in New York Yankee history. And we're going to break, but we'll be back here in just a moment.
Long Island summers are much more comfortable these days, thanks to modern appliances like the air conditioner, the automatic ice maker, and other conveniences like the pool pump. But these appliances use a lot of electricity. In fact, Long Island households use about 40% more than the statewide average. The typical cost, about $3 a day, 12 cents an hour. To learn about ways to lower your electric bill, call Lilco for their free booklet.
Set up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it out. The taste is gonna move ya when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. It keeps us all, it gets right to ya. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya.
ShopRite does more to save you more.
Only ShopRite saves me money in so many ways.
With everyday low prices.
Hey, sale or no sale, I can always save money here.
Over 1,500 items on sale each week.
With this coupon from our Sunday Adder Circular, a 4.4-pound box of medium white shrimp is $14.95. With this coupon, a 4.4-pound box of large white shrimp or 2.5-ounce box of cooked, cleaned large shrimp is $19.95.
We save you money.
More money.
ShopRite does it right.
Today's Old Timers Day has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you to please drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. What a day here at Old Timers Day, Yankee Stadium, and back in the booth up from the catacombs of Yankee Stadium, the scooter Phil Rizzuto. And Phil, it must have been a great thrill to be down there on the field with Joe D and all the rest of the great Yankees and be part of this great Yankee history.
I tell you, Tom, not only was it a great thrill being down there with them, but then when I heard what Joe DiMaggio said, I actually could not. I had goosebumps, and Tommy Henrik had to grab me. I felt like I was going to go 9 feet in the air.
On his day to turn around and pay you a great honor and talk about his Hall of Fame shortstop.
Boy, I tell you, to me, he was the greatest ball player around. Naturally, there's a lot of arguments with the National Leaguers. Willie Mays was greater than DiMaggio, or Duke Snider was greater than DiMaggio, but I saw Joe play every day, day in and day out, and I didn't think anybody could do all the things that he did so effortlessly. And Tommy Henrik and I were talking down there about the way he used to run bases. And he had an extra overdrive, a little shift. When play was going to be close, he could actually accelerate, and you could see it at speed and then slide and beat the throw. I mean, it was just a thing of beauty to watch. And then going down, see Frenchie Bordegaray, Johnny Sturm, names that Marius Russo that don't mean much to the young kids today. And of course, Mantle and Ford.
You took the words out of my mouth, because of how lucky the people here in New York were to, to have Joe DiMaggio watch him play for so many years, and then all of a sudden Mickey Mantle comes along, you get to watch him play. I mean, to be part of baseball history, what a gift for the city of New York.
They really were very fortunate, because just at the time Joe was through, Mantle started his great career, and it just continued. And of course, then Roger Maris, unfortunately, who has passed away, couldn't be here. Another great ball player to watch. Out in the field, on the bases, and the home runs he hit. Really is exciting. I tell you, I really almost burst out in tears down there. It's a good thing I didn't, because everybody else was happy and laughing. And
of course, he turned around and he stuck a needle in you about the story about your bat.
Oh, yes,
and a toothpick. Did you know that was coming?
No, I had no idea, because I was stuck on the bridge. Oh, there I am, bunting again.
Now, what's on your cap there? Look at
gum. I wouldn't play without the gum.
You put gum on there yourself?
Hey, I put the gum on. Oh, look at that arm. Holy cow, I got...
That's a gun.
No, but...
That was a gun.
It was
right
a sinker
there.
I used to throw. All first basemen I played with complained. They would try to reach out and get the ball and come back. If I had Espinosa's arm, I'd have still been playing.
Tell me one thing. Did you reach in DiMaggio's pocket and take the keys of that car?
Oh, man, I wanted to. He's got a mobile phone and everything in there.
A wrap-up conclusion of Old Timers Day here at the stadium. We'll be back with the start of today's game between the Angels and the Yankees right after this.
In our 25th year, the following is a special presentation of HBO Sports.